was a Rizzler paper away from putting Arsenal top of the league.
And they've had Haaland, who's not been at the World Cup, ready to go. He's almost been in the lab, waiting.
We'll see whether or not he's resilient when he comes back. If he goes 3-4 games and doesn't get a goal, then you'll know something's up.
I am delighted to say that the Premier League is back. And on this video, what we're going to do is predict how we think the Premier League table will end. We're going to have a look back at how we predicted it and then conclude how we think the table will look at the end of the season. I'm going to tell you what I said at the beginning of the season. I said that Manchester City would be top. I said that Tottenham would be second, Liverpool third, Chelsea fourth and Arsenal fifth. How did you do at the beginning of the season, Ab?
I went Liverpool top, City, Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea.
Okay. And Ade, what did you say at the beginning?
Obviously not biased, but I said Liverpool top, City, Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal. So yeah.
Okay, so do we now all have an opportunity? We can use the data that we've got so far from
How many games
the
have there been? 15 or 14? 14, yeah.
First 14 games of the season, and now we can do our proper predictions. So season starts now for us in terms of our game, in terms of our list. So let's get this right now. How does the Premier League table finish at the end of the season? Okay, I've done it.
Okay.
And I'm telling you what, I was a Rizzler paper away from putting Arsenal top of the league. You talked me out of it, but I'm almost. I think they can do it. You know, I honestly think they can do it. But anyway,
They can't do that.
this is my list. Let's have a look at yours. Don't be.
Cool.
Oh, wow. Have me and Mr. Jennings finally
No way.
agreed on something?
No way. Andy.
Yes, sir.
Why have you both got an anti-Spurs agenda
No,
today?
it's
I
not.
don't understand. Why have you both chosen violence today? Like, from the minute I've got here, it's been anti-Tottenham, anti-Spurs. Like, what is this?
I mean, I don't necessarily think I have. I've left Chelsea completely off them.
Imagine that. Yeah, he's left, yeah. And
That's realistic.
Yeah, but that's incredibly complimentary to Tottenham as well. The fact that I can see a world where Tottenham finish above Chelsea.
Yeah,
Incredibly
but you also have Potter, and I don't think you remotely back Potter. So
I just to ask, do you know what I was so close to doing? Arsenal top of the league. Was that, how mad was that? Because Abby, you gave me a look when I mentioned it when we were sort of deliberating that could kill. Is it that wild?
it's not that wild, but I can't bear the thought of living in a world where that happens. So I'm banking on them having their normal capitulation around February, March time.
You know, I will say why it might not be wild. Every single season, we always discuss this. I mean, you go back and forth, and we always say to win this league, you got to get 100 points. Like to guarantee you winning the Premier League, it's 100 points. I don't think it's that this season.
No.
And so it might be 90.
Yeah, which
they're capable of doing. We know City will do it. City can go on that run, but I don't think it's going to be the same as it was for the last 5 or 6 seasons where you need 95,
Do you know
96.
what's going to be a huge indicator? You know when the season comes back, when it starts, within 4 Arsenal games, I think we're going to know. They're either going to hit the ground running, pick up exactly where they left off, or they'll have 2 draws or something like that.
I do think Arsenal are beatable, firstly.
Yeah.
And I also think they hadn't had many injuries to pivotal players, which I'm sure we'll go on and discuss. So I think that will interfere. They barely had any bad things go their way. And I think that as soon as you get, maybe an injury to the front 3 or to Partey or someone like that, and then you have to look at the strength and depth you've got of the squad, I think that's where they could fall down.
Yeah, the depth at Arsenal isn't good.
Yeah, they've got a good 13.
Do they replace during the transfer window? Do you think they really go for broke?
I think
do they go and sign Tielemans?
I think they have to. I think if they're going to really do a consistent title charge, I think they have to go big in this transfer
Even
window.
if they do, hypothetically they get Tielemans in or someone else, City. Like, trust me, as a Liverpool fan, we won 15 in a row, 15 games in a row, and I'm thinking we're going to get them. And they win 16 in a row.
Yeah.
They just find a way, and they've had Haaland, who's not been at the World Cup, ready to go. He's almost been in the lab, waiting, anticipating the start of the Premier League again. He's going to be on fire.
There's some cheating going on over here. You put 2.
I can't decide.
that you have to.
What have you done? Sorry,
It's the whole aim of the game.
You can't just do that.
Can't do that. I should have noticed that earlier.
Because I can't decide.
It's completely
and I think
unacceptable.
there's arguments for both.
It's completely unacceptable.
do that.
I've asked you for your top 5. You've given me 6 teams.
Yeah.
What sort of nonsense is this?
Yeah.
That's completely
Well,
unacceptable.
let's do your top
That's
8
a yellow
then.
card. Yeah, why don't you put 8 teams on there? Definitely get it right.
Okay.
You're going to have to pick one.
as much as I'd love to see Newcastle do that, I just think again squad depth, injuries and stuff like that. I just don't think they'll. I think they will miss out.
You're about to delete Newcastle.
I think United have a better
You know the
squad.
thing is with Newcastle, they have had injuries. You know what I mean? Let's not forget they spent £60 million on a striker who's only played 2 games. They've had injuries, big injuries,
Newcastle,
and they've still done okay.
Newcastle gets top 4.
I think Newcastle get top 4. I really do.
The other thing that Newcastle will do in January is spend.
If they need to, they will go big.
And if they don't,
if they're in a position where they can make top 4, they would just say,
and they are.
Here's 150 million. Take that.
Imagine if they, when you look at how well their recruitment process works, like Eddie Howe at recruitment is amazing. Like he really gets it right, doesn't he? Because not only does he sign good footballers, it's as if he signs good people. Like he genuinely seems to put a lot of stock in the person. You know, it's not. Say Chelsea. I'll use a Chelsea example. Chelsea go and sign Aubameyang because he's got a good proven track record of being a good footballer, but we don't really explore how does he affect team harmony, what sort of person. We don't really explore that. Whereas I feel like Eddie Howe massively thinks about that. So if they give him a load of money in January, which, you know, they have.
Then you know what that creates though as well now, that he's never really had
pressure.
There's a difference in trying to stay up in the league, and some people might say he's had it because of that. But this is a different type of pressure. If you get 150 million, you now have to make top 4. Then we'll see how they handle it. But they've got obviously amazing crowd, probably the best supporters in the land.
Neither of you have even considered Manchester United.
Who?
Neither of you.
Or Chelsea. I haven't considered Chelsea. I'm not trying to not be biased here. I haven't considered Chelsea.
Chelsea, I get not putting in this list, but I'm just surprised you haven't been impressed by Ten Hag and Manchester United so far.
I've been impressed.
You don't,
Absolutely,
you don't
I rate Ten Hag. I think he's done a very good job.
And now with Ronaldo out of the question,
I just think these sides are better placed and in a better position this year. I do rate Ten Hag. I think he's done a very good job. I think he's handled basically every issue that's been thrown at him in his job. I think he's handled every single issue perfectly. I really do. Yeah. But I just think these sides are better equipped at the moment. There's a chance that becomes Manchester United. Tottenham could become Manchester United. On this list, top 5? United top 5? I think so.
Yeah, it could happen.
But not top 4.
Out of interest, I was always going to put Liverpool there just because, again, biased. I'm surprised you've both got Liverpool 3rd. Why?
Yeah.
You both think Liverpool can go on a run again then?
Yeah.
Just conditioned by Klopp. Over the years, it's very foolish of anybody to write off the Jurgen Klopp team. Yeah. We've seen time and time again that they get it right. We've seen time and time again that he can build a team. We know that the talent's there. I also don't think that... Say you think of key players at Liverpool, Mohamed Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I rate them both so highly that I don't believe that they can replicate their poor form in the first half of the season in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
I don't think that can happen. I think that the break that Trent Alexander-Arnold has effectively had from football, wrongly, but he's effectively been off for a World Cup, will benefit him. I think Mohamed Salah being off for a World Cup...
That's the thing. With this Liverpool squad, as opposed to most of the others, most Liverpool's key players have all rested. Well. Yeah, obviously Van Dijk we know has played well, but you look at the whole midfield. Thiago has been rested. Fabinho barely played for Brazil, I think 1 game. Salah, you're right. Darwin Núñez is already back. Fingers crossed that Diaz and Jota are fit again. I think Liverpool have got enough.
Liverpool are the most well equipped out of everybody here. Liverpool are the most well equipped to make sure that they secure top 4. I don't think they'll challenge. I don't think they'll challenge. No. And I don't really think that they'll challenge for second, whoever we decide finishes second. I don't really think they'll do that. But they'll definitely finish above Newcastle, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have them 3rd.
Why do you write off your Chelsea side so quick?
Because we're so bad at football. Yeah.
Simple, isn't it? Simple.
Yeah, we're not very good at football. I mean, I think our recruitment's been so all over the place. You know when you think about Chelsea's midfield? Like, Chelsea haven't signed a midfielder for years. Like, we signed Mateo Kovacic when we were on a transfer ban because it was like the loan. We haven't signed another midfielder for ages.
I just think your transfers are odd.
What we are the antithesis of is, earlier in this video when we were talking about the brilliance of Eddie Howe, the way that he really does structure his transfers and signs players that buy into the ethos of the club and all that. We don't do that.
No.
We definitely don't do that. And I think that our squad isn't as good as...
What was the last
contenders.
Good signing? Thiago? Like, look at all the ones that have come in. Cucurella's come in.
Been there
awful.
a long time now, though.
Havertz, awful. Ziyech, awful.
Yeah,
Sterling's
come in and gone.
Not been great.
Lukaku's come in and gone.
Literally, it's been ages.
Yeah.
But then you're £500 million short.
I also I'm slightly concerned about our ownership and the direction that the ownership want to go in. I think that we're not in this conversation. We're here. We're definitely the next rung. And we could challenge maybe Tottenham or Manchester United, whoever you think this club are. And for me, it's Tottenham. But if that becomes Manchester United or whoever, Chelsea are in contention for this one. I happen to think Tottenham because I think Antonio Conte is brilliant. So therefore, I've gone for Tottenham. But Tottenham are only there by a whisker. I could see Tottenham not being there.
Well, why have you both changed your mind? Because you had Spurs second originally. You had Spurs fourth.
Yeah.
So what is it about
Newcastle,
that?
Newcastle surprised me.
Newcastle surprising, absolutely.
Surprised
Something
me
massive has happened to Tottenham.
Would you not say that's because they had no Kulusevski, no Richarlison, Son's been bang out?
But the reason why I think that it could go even lower is because of what happened at the World Cup to Harry Kane. I don't know the player that Harry Kane is going to be. How resilient a man is Harry Kane?
I think he's very resilient.
He has never ever demonstrated any resilience. As a man, he has been completely
I think he is
flattered.
captain of the country. I think he is a
By
leader.
default, really, though. He's not really captain of the country.
Yeah.
Henderson.
No, but in terms of like resilience,
He's not really captain of England, is he? Though?
Like a
If we're being
property.
honest. Sorry, but if we're being honest, he's not though, is he?
A property of resilience would be Jordan Henderson. You brought him up, right? Jordan Henderson took his team to a Champions League final and lost it. And the next year he's like, "Shut up, we're winning
Bang.
it."
Okay.
Then he took his team to nearly winning a Premier League and lost it.
Okay.
And then the next year, bang, Harry Kane, semi-final after semi-final, final after final, miss after miss after miss after miss. He ain't resilient.
I can understand that because I've seen that for Tottenham in various finals or semi-finals. I'm not actually including the Champions League final in that because he'd just come back from injury.
And
played.
insisted on
He did,
playing
but
instead of
he shouldn't-
Mora.
No, that was
Should have been
that-
Mora.
no,
Well, for you to say I'm not
Mora.
including it, but
because that was Pochettino's fault because he shouldn't have played him over Mora.
Yeah.
That's not Harry Kane.
Cool. You can not include
That's not Harry
but
Kane's
it's included.
fault.
I get
Okay,
it.
but I'm not including that. I'm not including that.
I bet you any money that Harry Kane said I'm 100% fit. I bet you any money
I'm
Harry
sure
Kane
he did,
said
but
I'm 100%
as a manager, if you're going to drop someone, you don't drop Lucas Moura. Drop Dele
The
Alli.
thing is, just to put it out there, right?
Yeah.
David Luiz played for Chelsea in a Champions League final with one leg and scored a penalty and had a blinding game. You can that's resilient. Gary Cahill was injured, played brilliantly. That's resilience. John Obi Mikel.
I have full faith that Harry
You know what-
Kane
you know
will
what,
come
to be
back
fair,
and he'll be
his
fine.
goal
He's
scoring
not
record-
resilient.
No, but his goal scoring record does say, to be fair to Abby, his goal scoring record tells me he's going to come back and smash the goals again.
He will.
That's fact.
And,
He always
you'll
scores.
see. We'll see whether or not he's resilient when he comes back. If he goes 3-4 games and doesn't get a goal, then you'll know something's up. If he comes back and gets a goal straight away against Brentford, if he plays that first game back,
I'm sure he'll score against Brentford.
He will
It's
score.
not about that though, is it? It's about
I think it's
about you
about-
getting to an FA Cup final and him scoring
Okay,
in
but
that.
we'll see what happens in the FA Cup. But
Do you think he plays with four? Do you think he plays with four? You think he plays all four up front if he can?
for me, I'd like to, but I don't think his formation allows it. I think we've seen in this tournament, Richarlison down the middle is actually really, really good. And I'd have Kane just behind him.
It's a weird one, isn't it, really?
Put
Because
the ball out for him.
Kane's coming back with heartache. Richarlison doesn't get a game for Spurs and has been injured. Son's been awful.
Are you leaving
Kulusevski's
Tottenham
been
there?
100%.
You're leaving Tottenham finishing fifth?
Yeah.
No, I was thinking, is that actually Manchester United?
Oh, yeah. No.
Seriously?
No. I think Spurs have enough.
What is
to
it
finish
today?
fifth. And they've got a better manager, Conte.
I'm-
Are you done from your Conteism now? You're
No,
Mr.
I'm
Conte.
just thinking. Just think about Manchester United. Just think about what they're gonna offer. Just think about who they're gonna be when they get
Weight
back.
off their shoulders of Ronaldo not
Tottenham
being
have
there.
the Champions League as a distraction as well because it's not like a genuine prospect for them to win it. So it is only a distraction. I'm not sure that's.
You know what? I'm so over this.
I was going to bite back for you. Don't accept that.
I'm not sure that's. I think we've been a bit generous putting Tottenham there.
I think you two are really annoying.
Where did you have Tottenham? Where did you have Tottenham at the start of the season?
Second. And now you want to put them, what,
You're going to
sixth?
drop them 4 places.
Have you seen them play this year?
Well,
have you seen Heung-min? I was basing second on the form of Heung-min Son last
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
Have you seen him play this
But
year?
hold on a minute. If you really think that, but on what grounds? Because even so, we're still fourth in the table, and we've been diabolical this whole first half of the season, and we're still somehow fourth in the table. So we've managed to grind out results.
But
somehow.
that won't continue.
No,
If
but
you keep
hopefully we
playing-
might
if
actually
you-
start playing and
if
not
you-
go 2-0 down first.
If you keep playing in a diabolical way and conceding goals
But we
and going
won't.
2-0 down like you did at Bournemouth,
We won't.
chances
Something has
are-
to change.
Yeah, but it could change, not necessarily for the better.
It won't. It will change.
No, it's true.
And I
it
think
can go the
people-
opposite
Can
way.
go the other way.
You can continue to do that and not claw teams back. It can go the opposite way.
Exactly, and they've clawed it back most times. I'd say 9 times out of 10, they've managed to claw something back out of the game. And I genuinely believe that it will get better. Firstly, because we've got Antonio Conte, even if he's only there till the end of the season, he's still there. I genuinely think they will spend again in January. Last season, we had the best January ever, got Kulusevski and Bentancur, and I'm hoping that they can replicate that again.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Ade, are you changing anything, or are you sticking?
No,
with
that's
that?
my.
I'm not.
Ab, you're
I'm
going to
not-
have to change Newcastle or Manchester United. You can't.
Okay, I will take Newcastle out to be.
So Newcastle
different.
finished 6th for you, presumably.
Okay.
Because
I
Newcastle.
don't think we're in a position to tell Abby to not put Spurs.
I'm not changing that.
Yeah, I think that's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're
I'm literally not changing it.
Yeah,
It's not even
I don't think she's
conversation.
going to change.
I'm not changing
yeah.
it.
No, the rules of the game are as such, but I'm not changing it.
Will Chelsea finish in the top 10? That should be the big question.
It's really gone now. Look. Yeah. You want him to finish top 10.
I might start on you in a minute.
No, you can't. You can't.
Love it.
I think we
Okay.
all know Liverpool are going to do something.
So that is how the Premier League table will finish in May. Do you
According
agree
to
with that?
Ade and Rory.
That's
Yes.
how. That one.
Do you agree with our suggestions? Do you think that is how the Premier League table will finish? We've got Manchester City to win the league, Arsenal to finish 2nd, Liverpool 3rd, Newcastle 4th, and Tottenham Hotspur in 5th.
4th.
Do you see it going that way? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Please click that subscribe button. Do it right now. In a bit.
All right, next week, the clubs that need to do some business in the January transfer window. What clubs need to spend some dosh? Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. And as my boy Rory would say,